Hey guys, it's Maggie Lindemann, and I'm hanging out with Rob from Front Row Live.
You continue to surprise me with every new release that you have. Now with Scissorhands, like I love this rock vibe that we get from this track, and I love like the industrial feel that I get in the intro of this track. Can you talk to me about the creative process of this song, and how different was it for you to create in the studio?
So we originally didn't even have that beginning part. I wanted it to originally it has like flowy intro, which was we like later took out, but I wanted it to start off crazy because the song is very crazy. So we kind of just like changed it and made it start off like really crazy, and then it goes into a little bit like calmer once you get into the first verse. But this song was so fun to do. I wanted to do something really crazy and really different, and yeah, like a rock feel, but it still has like, pop melodies, but it is like an industrial, darker, like a little bit metal sounds to it. I don't know, I just always wanted to do something like that. And I felt like with Scissorhands, like to do a modern twist on it, it just like, I don't know, I just felt right.
One thing that sticks out to me, aside from the guitars, obviously, like, is the drums, and it's such a prominent sound on this record. Who is doing the drums on this track, and why did you feel the drums were so important for this track?
So it's crazy. I actually did do live drums for a lot of the songs, but on Scissorhands, I actually didn't want to do live drums. So
Wow.
they're all like programmed. So the producer Cody actually did them. Um, but I don't know, I felt like for the song we actually did do live drums, and then I was just like, I honestly feel like this song is just so like, yeah, industrial, and so um I don't know, it didn't even need that live element. It already felt so like live and like in your face that I don't know, I just liked how it already sounded. So they're actually programmed, but Cody Tarpley did them, but they sound insane.
That's crazy because I really would have thought that they were like you actually had a session drummer with you the whole
Yeah,
time.
I
So,
know.
as far as writing this track, and how different was it for you to kind of write these lyrics and kind of get ready for the studio? Just because, like, I feel like you keep evolving within each single that you keep releasing. So, how different was the writing process for Scissorhands?
Well, Scissorhands was actually one of the earlier songs, but I felt like after a few of the sessions we had already had, um, I don't know, I kept like getting inspired by different things, and um I don't know, I just wanted to do something crazier, and I wanted to kind of like dabble in like I just did a screamo track, and I kind of wanted to do something like I don't know, I wanted to try a bunch of new things for this EP. So um I don't know, we just went in, and it wasn't even that production at first. He actually sent us that production like later on in the week after we had finished the session. But um I just went in and I was just like, I want something dark. Like I want to do something dark. I want to do something crazy. I want to do something different. Like I definitely want the song to be one of the darker songs on the EP. So we just kind of took that and ran with it.
It's interesting because I was first introduced to your music by the Vamps.
Mm,
This was like 2016, 17, I want to say.
yeah.
And, once they kind of introduced me to your music, I was excited for your sound and I was excited for new material. And then now that you're kind of like jumping more into this like experimental rock, screamo type of like sound, I'm even more excited for this upcoming EP, Paranoia. Um, what has been the creative process like for you since you are kind of testing the waters with so many different styles and sounds for this EP?
Um well, I mean, I've always wanted to make like darker rock music. For a while, I was trying to just figure out my sound. I mean, I was like growing up, so while also making music, and I feel like for a long time, I just like didn't know who I was at all. So just throughout the years, like I've just I think I've just figured myself out a lot and kind of went into this different lane, and I feel really confident now, and it feels, I don't know, it just feels way different, and yeah, I'm being like experimental, and I'm able to, even if like, I don't know, one day I decided I don't want to do this anymore, it's cool because I'm just always evolving, and I'm able to do new things, and um I don't know, just like try new things, and it's been fun. I don't know. It's cool.
And how are you able to do, try different sounds like that and still be able to kind of maintain your fan base? And, you're obviously still growing your fan base, but like those that have been with you from the beginning are still kind of there with you throughout these like changes in sound and style. Like, what do you think it is that keeps them around?
I don't know. I mean, I know it's been different because obviously I was making pop music and now it's a little bit more rock. So I know for a lot of people it's super different, and some of them might not like it, which is totally fine, and then some of them actually like it more and feel like there's more of like a connection now between me and my music. So I don't know. I think it's cool because the people that are continuing to support me are watching me grow. And then if, I mean, again, if you don't like it, it's totally fine. I get it. It's so different. But it's also cool because now I'm kind of touching like a different group of people. And I don't know. I feel like I grew up listening to a lot of like pop punk music and rock music. So I like am in that fan base. Like I listen to that. So I don't know. I feel like I'm touching a lot of people that like I was growing up, I guess. Um, so I don't know. It's been really cool, and it's been really cool to see people's reactions, and if they like it, if they don't like it. It's just been cool to see what people have to say, and I mean, they're growing with me, so it's cool.
Would you say that any specific like bands have been influencing this new material?
Yeah, a lot of bands. Paramore is a really big influence to me. Avril Lavigne,
Mhm.
Evanescence, Bring Me the Horizon, um, Ice Peak. I'm forgetting a big one. I already know it's a big one, but oh, No Doubt. I don't know. There's so many. There's literally so many. I feel like I'm influenced by so many different people, and even music I just hear like on the radio or on my like playlist. If I just hear a song and I hear like a part of the song I like, I'm so inspired by that, and like that will inspire a whole song for me. So.
I love that you mentioned Bring Me the Horizon because I feel like you collaborating with them in some way, shape, or form, or even just with Ollie. Like, I feel like that would be such a sick collaboration. And I kind of, listening to this song, Scissorhands, I kind of got a little bit of that vibe. Um, like, do you see yourself kind of doing collaborations with some of these bands that you grew up listening to, or like are so big in this industry?
I would love to collaborate with them. That would be so sick. I would love to collab with a lot of different people. I always say like Sleeping with Sirens. I would love to collab.
Yes.
I grew up like, oh my God, I was such a big Sleeping with Sirens fan. I still am. I'm obsessed with them, but it would be so cool to do stuff with so many different people. And even if it's just like, I don't know, something like, yeah, like one of the singers hop on, or even like a drummer or something. I don't know. Anything would be really cool. So
Right.
I definitely would love to do that in the future. That'd be crazy.
Now it's again, you mentioned Sleeping with Sirens, and they're kind of doing the same thing with their sound. Kellen Quinn started out with just the high pitch, like more popular kind of sound in the beginning, and now they're going to more like metal type of sounding. Um, like what as a fan of theirs, like what is it that still keeps you around for a band like Sleeping with Sirens?
Well, I think first of all, when you've just been with someone for so long, like supporting them for so long, and I don't know, their music was there for me in a really, really dark time in my life. So I feel like when that happens, that's always like, I don't know, you're kind of stuck with them forever. But I don't know, I feel like um yeah, they were like super pop punk, and then they kind of I remember they released one album and it was really pop. And then now they're doing like more metal stuff, which I'm like obsessed with. I think they're just like same with Bring Me to the Horizon. I think they're just like growing with the times and adapting to like the newer years and stuff, which is cool to hear how that's like developed. Um, but I don't know. I just love them. So anything they do, I'll just support anyways. But yeah, I don't know. I just think their growth is like really cool, and I just still love their music. So they're doing it right, I guess.
And as far as doing it right, like your evolution is also, you kind of mentioned it earlier, but your evolution is also, constantly changing. Could you talk to me a little bit about, what that evolution process was like from like doing a couple of kids to doing Pretty Girl to now doing Scissorhands?
Yeah. Uh, I well, I mean, when I first started making music, when I first was found by my manager, I feel like I wanted to make music and I was making covers and stuff, but I didn't actually know it would happen, I guess. So when it first started, I feel like it all happened really, really fast. And I was really young. And like I said, I didn't know who I was at all. Like, I had no self. Like, I wasn't my own individual. And I feel like just as time has gone by, I've just found myself more. And I'm 22 now. So I feel like I've just grown up, and what I first started with wasn't really me. It might have been more me at the time, but it still wasn't me. It wasn't like directly coming from me. And I never felt like, I never felt a real connection with a lot of the stuff I was doing. And then with Pretty Girl, I mean, that song just like popped off like crazy. And I was still so new. It was only my fourth song I'd released. And I mean, that alone is just insane. But for that to happen just on my fourth song, like I'm so grateful, but it happened so early that I feel like I just wasn't ready. And I don't know. I think it also like triggered something in my brain that was like, I want to be doing exactly what I want to be doing because I want to go and do the shows that I'm doing right now, but doing the music that I really, really love and I want to do. Um, so I think that kind of inspired me to like move more into a lane that I felt like really suited me, and that lane is more rock. So I just went for it.
And you were able to, I feel like when artists get that, like they get that spotlight too early, too soon, and they're not ready for it. Like you mentioned, I feel like it's easy for them to lose that spotlight instantly, lose that fan base on their next release, or like not really know how to handle it. How are you able to handle that and still be able to maintain it to the point that even like 3-4 years later, when you're changing your sound, you're still on top of your game?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when something like that happens, I mean, it definitely does put you into a new like level. And it's weird because it's like I'm still a small artist. I'm not a big artist. I'm not a 700 million streaming artist. Like it's just this one song that randomly like went crazy, but I'm still a small artist. So like I think the thing with that was it just put like a lot of pressure on me to keep like doing that and like streaming that and doing that, and it's like that's not, I'm not that yet. Like, I'm still growing. Um so and yeah, with like that fan base, it's like that song just by itself has like its own fan base because like when I go and perform that song, like I'll be singing all my songs, but when that song comes on, everyone like knows the lyrics and they're singing it and like they're really hype. And like right after that song I released Obsessed, which also like I feel like a lot of those fans translated over. But I sometimes I just feel like it was just that song. Like it wasn't actually me that people were like a fan of. It was just more the song. So I feel like just as time has gone by, some of the fans have translated over because they just like want to see what I'm doing or they like follow me on Instagram or whatever it is. But it's a hate love relationship I have with it because it's like I wish that I had all that fan base like come with me, but also it's cool because now that I'm making a different type of music, it's like I feel like I kind of have a fresh start, in a sense, kind of. But I don't know. I feel like I'm just getting a whole new fan base now, and the ones that have stuck with me, it's like awesome because like of course I want that. But it's cool because now I have like new people too.
I feel like once Paranoia drops, January 22nd, like I feel like that's gonna like that. It's Let me just put it this way, Machine Gun Kelly's been doing his thing for some time, and then he just dropped this record that went back to what he wanted, his roots and stuff like that, and it hit number one.
Mhm.
And I feel like it's the same with you. Like, the audience got to hear you with Pretty Girl, and that was a specific song that blew up, like you mentioned. But I feel like once Paranoia drops, I feel like this is like it's. I feel like this release is going to be epic, just because of what you've released so far from this EP. Um,
Thank
in
you.
saying that, like, what has been the biggest challenge for you creating Paranoia?
I think just finding, because like I said, I'm like still growing all the time. So I think finding like actually what I want to do and not like, oh, I just want to try this and this and this. And I love this in the moment, but like, am I going to like love this in a few years? I think is one of the things that's been hard because like I'm so ADHD, I like tend to just bounce all over the place. So sometimes it's hard to just like chill out and be like, all right, what do I actually want and what is am I just being like impulsive about? So I think that's been the hardest thing. And just like calming myself down and being like, stay on track. um, but also just like picking the songs was really hard too because we did so many songs and there was a couple of songs that will probably be on the album later on, but like I wanted to put them on the EP so bad, but we were at like 12 songs and they were like, this is like an album. So do you want it to be an album? And I'm like, no, it needs to be an EP. So they're like, all right, we need to cut like all these songs and I was so upset, but I think that's been like another really tough one for me.
Why an EP over an album if you already had the content?
I don't know. I haven't released a project before, and the album, like the just album name, like I don't know, that just kind of scares me a little bit just because I've never released a project. So I just want to release something a little bit smaller first, just so um, people can kind of get a taste of like what's to come because I'm always growing and I feel like by the time I put out an album it's going to be even crazier and like I'll even be better writing and like the concepts will be better and like the production will be better, like everything's going to be better because we're all going to be like just growing. So I think it'll be even crazier.
Well, definitely look forward to Paranoia dropping. I'm sure a lot of your fans do too. Congratulations with Scissorhands, and
Yeah.
keep testing the waters because I'm loving this rock feel, rock vibe that you're kind of like giving us with your music.
Thank you.